Hello, good evening, students. Staying near or far. Just it's the image of winter started. Though temperature of Dhaka city is not that much level decline, but in the northern part or outside the Dhaka city, now declining. Anyway, in this pandemic situation, this winter is to some extent problematic for the aged guys. But you, the young chaps, you must be conscious this about. Accordingly, you need to take regular exercise, proteinized foods, drinks, beverages, and a little bit warm water. At the same time, you need to take vitamin, zinc plus. Understand? And each and every day, you need to take at least one piece lemon or orange, because you are the generation who are preparing for the future. As a student of business, you need to keep your body fit, in balance. If you are not physically and mentally fit or sound enough, then it will tough from your side to do business or take decisions right with the right manner. Somehow, okay. For the sake of successful organizational politics, conditions of successful organizational politics, some points or measures we need to concentrate to make it result-oriented. These conditions are made mostly, politics may bring good results, otherwise hamper politics. Conditions of successful organizational politics are discussed below. Number one, proper educational background is the main thing, top urgent issue. Education is the pillar of right politics, for right decision making, visionary politics. If education is not up to the right mark, then politics will be dull. And this is the very burning question for the third world countries. As the political people, those who are engaged in the political activists, in many cases this has been found, they are not academically that much level educated. At the same time, they don't have that much technical knowledge, technology, in terms of technology, in terms of demand, in terms of right, in terms of, facilities, financial, non-financial benefits of the workers, employees of the organization. There is a question of need of knowing, yes, the tremendous market competition. Suppose a certain organization is sustaining in the market positively, logical atmosphere is there, needed. And obviously the person, those who are engaged in politics, they are just, basically in the third world countries are homological in nature. Oh no, this is not that time. You simply need not to go through books side by side. You need to know about the telecommunication and the virtual world about how to collect and procure the facts, documents and informations from the different parts of the world, pole to pole, corner to corner. You need to know it. If you don't know, then the tomorrow is very critical. And your decision making will be not appropriate, and accordingly you can't achieve the right result. Anyway, the next question is the intelligence. Intelligent politicians can do so many things. Intelligent politicians can successfully attain their vision, mission and task. Their activities are very much goal-oriented. Intelligent people know how to catch the result, how to bring the result, how to complete the task assigned duties and responsibilities, or to move the organization goal-oriented. In terms of the national politics, our politics country to country exchange, all these things are very much concerned and connected to intelligence. If intelligence is not that much level, then the question of brainstorming will be slower in nature. That will be very much declining and not positive for decision making. When we are going to exchange our views, concept and idea with the counterpart, then positively we should have that much level intellect. Our intelligence will bring us upper to the counterpart. Then the question of management support. Within the organizational framework, when politics is going on character, person to person, group to group, within the organization and connectivity with the external forces, then there is a question of support from the management. If management doesn't support certain one, then that group or politics of that certain group will not be able to achieve goal or to attain the vision. Then employee cooperation. Employees need to know, yes, the politics is going on here by someone or by a certain leader or by a certain group. That is very much positive for the workers and employees of the organization, for the betterment and development for the organization. If not so, then they will be not inclined to that politics and they will not merely be interested about that politics. So they will just avoid. They will not interested. So that will not be result oriented and it will not be visionary. So support from the workers and employees or from the personals is very much important. I mean, this is the question of the confidence. If the confidence level is lower in nature towards a certain types of politics, then that should not be accepted. That should not be right to able to move. Then the favorable environment. Congenial atmosphere and the favorable environment is very much needed for politics. If the political groups, those who are engaged in politics in the organizational framework, they want to achieve a certain goals or objectives positively, atmosphere they need. If atmosphere is positive in manner and environment is better, nice, then they can easily earn, they can easily achieve their demand, fulfill their demand, because they can bargain with the authority. Then authority will be satisfied and they will very much, the authority will take it positively. As a result, this will be benefiting for the workers and employees of the organization. So atmosphere is the warning question, a very important thing. Then legitimacy of demands. Yes, it should have the legitimacy. If legitimacy of demand is not right, it's homogeneous in nature, then this may create chaos or panic, but nothing otherwise. They will not able, the leaders will not able to achieve their demand, because authority will not be there, and authority will hold the top stand, and they will not accept the demand of the leaders, because sometimes some leaders do for their personal interest. If authority knows it, it's not for greater interest for the organization or for the workers and employees, then they will not accept it. Because if they do accept it, that will disastrous for the organization. Then, the corrective bargaining process. If the corrective bargaining process continues, the organization politics may be made fair and regular. Otherwise, the people do not get interest for the politics. There should have a nice collective bargaining system. If not, so it's a very hazard and haphazard in nature. And people will not be interested. They will lose all interest regarding this sort of bargaining. That should be systematic in nature. That should be positive. That should be visionary, goal-oriented. To fulfill the demand, yes. If the leaders are trying to increase the salary of the workers, if they demand it, then positively they should have to show the causes and why, and they should have to side by side to show the capabilities of the management. Capability of the, as because the company or the organization is doing better business and earning a huge amount of money, at the same time the profit is higher. So they may claim for the higher salary, good handsome package. That will be benefiting both for the organization and for the employees. Then commitment to goal. What is your goal? Goal for the organization, goal for the workers and employees, and at the same time goal for the political leaders. Leaders, those who are doing politics within the organizational framework for their goal. What is their goal? Yes, to fulfill the right, fulfill the demand of the workers and employees of the organization in terms of the higher salary, wages, financial benefits, and other non-financial benefits. If goal is okay, fine. That should have a good matching with the fund status, reserve status, with the business status, with the profit status of the organization. If not so, it's not good matching, then the organization will not accept their demand. The owner side will not accept their demand. Management will not accept it. So, there should have a question of commitment to goal. Persons involved in politics should have goal orientation. This goal orientation gives them line of action to perform in the organization. Then, political culture. To some extent, the sort of political culture is not prevailing right way in the third world countries like Bangladesh is a now developing country. We are turning towards, middle earning country. Same nature countries of the India, Pakistan, Nepal, some African countries and South American countries are there. In that point, what is the political culture? Yes, we need to understand that thing. A political culture in terms of the labor union and association is not good and positive in nature. Last 50 years history, sometimes they are doing well, but in most cases this has been found it was just simply to create havoc and anomalies, not for the overall betterment for the workers, employees, and for the organization itself, and for the national economy. Sometimes disastrous. Then continuous. Political process must continue, otherwise it will not be possible to do politics in the organization. It should be a continuous effort, and the right way, it should have to carry on in the right way, right manner. Otherwise, that will be not positive in nature, and that will not continue or sustain. So there should have a continuous effort, and it should be continued. But side by side, there is a question of the development of the nature of the politics. Yes, if politics is benefiting for the workers, employees, and the side by side for the organization, then fine. If it is not so, it is not simply for they are claiming demand for the workers and employees, but they are not following, they are not observing the benefit of the organization. That will not sustain, that would become disastrous for the organization. Anyway, our discussion, it is major conditions which are to be fulfilled for dynamic and successful running of politics. I can include more conditions with this lot or discard one or two less important points, but other conditions must be fulfilled. Where to fulfill this? Actually, what do we need? When we need a development in politics, political development we need. Here is the question of the mental world's development, mental world development of the political leaders, development of the labor union leaders, and the concerned groups and persons, those who are engaged in connection to politics. Because the world is changing, technology is changing. So this mere cell phone, we can collect, worldwide messages, information, facts, anywhere of the world. Yes, I am staying here in the Dhaka Mohammadpur Central University College, but this very moment I can searching by net what is going on now in New York or Philadelphia, Baltimore or Cologne in Germany, Brooklyn, no problem. This very moment we can catch the messages and informations. Then, so this is the concept. And another thing is this, the most important topic, that is how do people respond to organizational politics. The word politics is now very much damaging to some extent for the third world countries in the organizational point of view. So many companies are there just crashed because of the major reason is the politics. So many giant jute mills and textile mills of Bangladesh just crashed because over politics. In India, over politics. In some other countries of the world, there is a tragedy prevailing because of the over politics. Crashed all these organizations, though very sophisticated, giant industries, mills and factories, they were. Lastly, Adamji jute mill, which is now collapsed because there was a giant mill, giant factory for jute industry. Yes, huge. More than 35,000 workers, employees were working in Adamji jute mill. That was the biggest in Asia. So, because of over politics and over employment there, that factory failed. And another point we like to discuss now, how do people respond to organizational politics? Yes, this is the very burning question and important question in terms of politics. That is, politics here is not indication of the national politics actually. It's the indication of the politics concerned and connected to the mills, factories and business organizations, service sector organizations, workers, employees, officers are also working there. But what is the employees' response? Organizational politics may threaten employees. Number one point is the decrease of satisfaction. Yes, in most cases this has been found. The political leaders of the organizational framework, within the organizational framework, their role, actions, behavior, manner, and their personal interest is not merely satisfying the workers and employees of the organization. People have the very negative tendency, negative thinking about them. And this negative tendency or negative thinking frustrating the workers, employees and the personals of the organization. Just as simply, people may think, just as simply doing politics for their own interest or to maintain or to attain the interest of a certain few persons group, which is disastrous. Increased anxiety and stress. Politics creates anxiety and stress. There is a question of a struggle. Yes, when over politics is going on, then general workers are very much worried. They think, yeah, this politics may disrupt the overall manufacturing system or business of the organization. So as a result, this organization may collapse and will be jobless and will remain in hunger. We will be hungry, remain hungry. We can't maintain our family expenditure. Our children will remain half-fed, unfed. So this is the very tragic thing. And they are worried very much about this. Increased turnover. When the problem is going on there in certain organization, over politics is going on. Sometimes negative forces are there in politics that will create very much harmful atmosphere. As a result, workers and employees, or the quality of workers and employees, they will be worried and a tendency will grow. Yes, better to leave early before this factory is collapsing. So they will switch their job to other organizations, and when they are getting a job, then they will leave the organization. So turnover rate will be higher, increased turnover rate. And this is too much disastrous for the organization. The skilled and efficient workforce will leave the organization, and as a result, what will happen? The total productivity of the organization will collapse. If collapse, so organization will not be able to earn profit. Their sales volume will decline, quality will decline. As a result, that organization will be loser and with a huge burden of debt. Then Reduce performance, yes. If I am not mentally satisfied, as I am working in a certain organization, I am not mentally satisfied. So I will be in panic, I will be frustrated, my all interest will decline, and as a result, my performance, I can't give my attention right way towards the job. So, quality development of my manufacturing, of my product, service. As a result, what will happen? The company will be the loser. No sales, no profit, and no salary. That way, people's responsiveness and people's sentiment towards this or short of the organizational politics is very much negative, to tell you very frankly. Dear students, and you know it, and being a student of business, so you are absolutely, your mentality is Western. At the same time, you know now the communist countries are now changing, they are becoming business oriented. And they are more than the capitalist country. Some communist countries have become more than the capitalistic countries, like US or the Western Europe, say for the China, highly business-oriented country, and say for even Russia. Russia is now very much business-oriented industry. Russia is now exporting more than $400 billion. China is exporting more than $1.3 trillion. So huge export volume just for business, and business. Okay, though they were communist countries, still now they are telling they are communist countries. But anyway, this is the situation and scenario, and the students need to know it and have to proceed, have to develop yourself in the best possible way. And you, side by side, need to develop your creativity with the virtual communication system and automation and technology and transfer of technology. Okay? And pandemic situation is maybe increasing, but you need not to be worried, because it's nothing for the young chaps and young fellows. But keep yourself safe. Don't go outside. Don't move elsewhere. And take your right food, hot food in your house. Don't go to the, different motels, restaurants. Cool. Don't take any cool food. Cold food, you should avoid it. No ice cream, no cold drinks. Okay? No ice cream, no cold drinks. And good luck. Thank you very much.